My first name is the street my mom grew up on. My middle name is where I was conceived. My last name is a noun. It feels like a Mad Lib. I've never felt any intense weight towards my name, other than wishing I had a girlier name when I was a kid. But I've always felt a little frustrated at the fact that my mom named me like one of those security question scams on Facebook. My siblings were all named a bit more normally. Anyways, my sister's pregnant and didn't want a baby shower, so we had a nice dinner for her 3 days ago instead. We got onto the topic of names, and my family started giving their input, and I told her, you could always take mom's approach and just do a Mad Lib. My sister laughs and my mom throws herself on the table and bursts into tears. She starts wailing about how she didn't know I hated my name so much, how awful she is as a parent, and how I should just change my name and be done with her. My siblings and I console her, or try to, and after like 20 minutes with no success, my sister tells me I should leave so I don't upset her anymore. My boyfriend, together for 3 years, is fuming the whole way home, saying I knew that would upset her and I put him in an awkward spot. He's been frustrated with me since. My sister also says I did it on purpose to upset her. We've always had a rocky relationship, and that I ruined her dinner because I was jealous of her for having a baby. I'm not. My other siblings have mostly stayed out of it, but told me to apologize to our mom, which I did. I called her and told her how sorry I was, and that I did like my name, and she started saying I don't need to lie to spare an old woman's feelings, and that she should be apologizing to me for, quote, saddling me with such a burden. I tried some more, but she just kept wallowing. Ever since dinner, she's been making 3 to 4 Facebook posts per day about how she's a bad mom and grateful that her children still love her, despite all her failures. My family has started reaching out, trying to be sure everything's okay. I didn't mean to say it maliciously. I genuinely harbor no ill will toward my mother. However, I feel like everything has spiraled out of control, and I feel like there's some weird revenge thing that she's trying to do. But was I mean enough to deserve the revenge? Was I that out of line? Am I the idiot for saying my mom named me like a Mad Libs? Not the idiot. You made a joke, and your mom was a drama queen about it. She's made this all about her, and is reaping a whole lot of sympathy for it. It's bizarre for everyone to just jump to her defense like that. Does she do this sort of thing a lot? Next time she pulls that crap and says, sorry I'm such a bad parent, just say, not as sorry as I am, with a dead face. You made a joke. A joke. I joke about my name all the time. Jesus, your whole family sounds like a nightmare, especially your mom. I see where your sister got it from. And tell your boyfriend to stay out of your family drama. Nothing you did impacts him in any way. No one's blaming him for this. What is wrong with everyone in this story? OP, you need some better people in your life. My goodness, there's a lot to unpack here. This was the first big issue I spotted. Why is boyfriend making this about him? And your mother sounds like the one who was jealous about your sister's baby and all the attention she's getting and not you. You made an innocent joke. Unless you regularly harp on this and have bitterly complained to all your siblings for years, your mother's reaction and theirs seems a bit disproportional. I'm really confused why everybody from mom to boyfriend is being so dramatic about this. What am I missing? Honey, I'm gonna say this as gently as I can. Your family is emotionally abusive. Your boyfriend is emotionally abusive. Please, if you do nothing else, speak to a therapist. Look closely at the horrified looks they won't be able to avoid when you tell them these funny anecdotes. Everything you've told us of the jokes your family plays and your position in the family screams of emotional abuse. Your mother's behavior is abhorrent and damaging, and you're following the pattern you were taught about your whole life. It has nothing to do with your name. It has to do with you being the one who always apologizes and always goes out of her way for them, always makes herself small for them. I include your boyfriend here. Please, please, please reach out to a therapist. Update. Am I the idiot for saying my mom named me like a Mad Libs? A lot of people have said I hadn't given a full picture, and I have, of the event in question. But here's the even fuller picture. I'm the black sheep of our family. I'm the oldest of 6, and my dad's only child. He died when I was less than a year old. My mom remarried when I was 5, and my stepdad didn't want much to do with me. He said it was too late for me to be his child, and I've always felt out of place in my family. Everyone in my family's very athletic, I'm really not. Everyone in my family's very musical, I'm really not. I've always felt a little left out from everyone else, and they make sure I don't forget it. I got left behind a lot because I, quote, wouldn't enjoy things as much, and would frequently be left out of family activities by accident. I got into many arguments with my mom and stepdad, especially as a teenager, because I turned my sad feelings into angry ones, but I've grown out of them. I've always had ambivalent relationships with my siblings, but they're very clearly more loyal to their parents than me. I did not anticipate my siblings would take my side in this at all. They typically choose to support their parents and leave me out to dry. I genuinely don't hate my name. I feel ambivalent about it, and I've never commented on this before. I used to tell her I wanted to be a Hannah or a Kate, but never said anything about the actual way I was named. If I'd known it would hurt her, I wouldn't have said it, even if just to avoid the fuss. My boyfriend is a textbook people pleaser. He thinks my fighting with my mother is reflected poorly on him, and that my family dislikes him now. So, for the most part, we've taken to ignoring the issue, but he's been sad reacting to my mom's Facebook post, which kind of makes me angry. There's actually an amusing family photo from my teen years, where everyone else knew we were taking a picture except me. So my whole family is color coordinated in nice clothes, and I'm wearing some old concert tee and ratty jeans. It was always my prime source when I needed to represent how I felt in my family. Dude, you've got to dump your boyfriend. If he's such a people pleaser, why does he not care about pleasing you? He's more concerned with your family who treats you like crap. No thank you. Time to ditch him and cut off the family. You don't deserve to be their punching bag. That makes much more sense. It definitely felt like there was a big part left out that could have given us a better understanding of everyone's reactions. Your boyfriend is not a people pleaser. He's worried about himself. He's selfish, and I hope you recognize that this is a red flag. But kudos for your patience, because at this point, I'd have changed my name, gone low to no contact with the whole family, and ditched the spineless, self-centered boyfriend. With a family like that, who needs enemies? Yeah, honestly, if I were you, I'd tell him exactly once, to shape up or ship out. That story about the family picture is sad, in that perfect, funny, pathos kind of way. And the fact that your partner's enabling that BS is just about the least attractive thing I've ever heard of. Update number 2. Am I the idiot for saying my mom named me like a Mad Libs? Hey everyone, I didn't change my name, but I did change my whole life around though. I wanted to post this update for many reasons, but mainly to express my gratitude. It's been over a year since my original post. I didn't have a lot of friends at the time, and most of them were my boyfriend's friends. I truly didn't feel like I had anyone else to go to about this, so I'm thankful to everyone who took the time to reply to my original post and provide insight. It was a lot to sift through and honestly really painful. It felt like I was finally being validated after years of gaslighting myself. I always felt that something was wrong, but I pushed it aside to be a part of the family. The period after I posted was truly one of the lowest of my life, but also the most empowering. A lot of people told me to cut out my boyfriend, but I didn't see the point. I didn't understand the accusations of narcissism. But when I sat down with him and explained how badly his siding with my mom hurt me, how it hurt to watch him turn against me when I needed support, his response was, "You did this to yourself." That was the light bulb moment I needed. So we broke up and I moved in with my brother to get back on my feet. There were a lot of recommendations to go no contact with my mom, but I had a tough time with the idea of it. Talking it over with her was mostly unsuccessful. She kept degrading herself and sending me all these backhanded apologies that made me feel worse. Everything ended in me apologizing. My sister had her baby. The whole family visited her and she told us the name. Top 10, very traditional. My mom commented about me scaring her out of exercise and creativity without any crocodile tears or hysterics. It was pure hostility from her, and it was another light bulb. I brushed it off, apologized to my sister, stuck around for another 30 minutes, and that was it. That was the last time I spoke to my mom. My brother harassed me about it, so I moved out of his place and into an extended stay hotel. I got a job a few states away, got an apartment, packed up my life, and pretty much entirely started over. I haven't spoken to any of my family members in almost a year. There has been a lot of therapy, as recommended. It's been a painful, sad, lonely, and frustrating experience, but I'm also so much better off. I have new friends, I like my job a lot better now, and I'm creating my own weird little family with my pets, a family that I'm a part of. Again, thank you to everyone who provided input. Not exactly the happiest update, but for the better. What an uplifting update. It must have been tough for you, but you should be proud of yourself for taking such brave steps and building a better, happier life. I know it doesn't feel like it, but you won. I wish you the best of luck. OP, you are truly a strong person for no longer being willing to put up with such toxicity from your mom, siblings, and boyfriend, who I still don't understand why even needed to be involved in this whole thing. So many people, including me, likely wouldn't have had the strength and determination to completely change your life for a much better future. You're awesome. I'm a 36-year-old male. I have 7 nieces and nephews from 3 sisters, and we spend a lot of time together. I don't have kids of my own yet. I was an army doctor for 3 years and then suffered an injury. I had to relearn to walk, talk, and do most things I used to find normal. I was in a coma for almost a month. This was 5 years ago. Each year, I celebrate the anniversary of the day I finally woke up, like my rebirthday or something. I always invite my parents and sisters with their families. Last week, I had the party and got the cake. My niece, a kindergartner, just recently broke her leg, a really complicated fracture, and is miserable about it. So at the party, I jokingly told her, "We're now the same. I walk with a cane, and she needs help standing up too." She found it amusing and said, "We're both superheroes now." I then told her to blow out the candles instead of me. It made her really happy. My nephew, younger tween, then threw a tantrum, called her a baby for complaining, and said he wanted to blow the candles out. I tried to move past it and told him he could have the first piece of cake. To that he said, "You and niece can shove the cake and eat crap." Wow. I said that wasn't nice, and he needed to apologize. He refused to, and then his mom, my sister, told me just to let it go and serve the cake. I said he needed to apologize or he couldn't have cake. He started screaming and crying and ran out of the kitchen. My sister says I'm an idiot for picking a fight with a kid over cake. Am I really the idiot? Geez, not the idiot. I understand kids make mistakes and are learning their way around the world, but what on earth? The nephew told you and his little sister to shove your cake and eat crap? Oh no, you didn't pick a fight with your nephew. He's a spoiled little brat who not only deserved no cake at all, but should have been sent home or to a timeout room. Judging from the mom's reaction, I'm not surprised he acts like an entitled brat. Little man came unglued over not being able to blow the candles out. His mother wasn't going to parent him and call him out on his behavior, so someone had to. You're not picking a fight over the cake. You're correcting a kid for displaying disrespectful behavior, throwing a tantrum, and being downright mean. Your sister needs to get it together and parent her son because he's learning he can get away with this action because of her inaction. Also, massive respect to you for your service and your strength and resilience coming back from that terrible injury. A few years ago, I was going to a conference, so I asked my sister if she could watch my dogs while I was away. She said she would do it if I paid her, so I hired a service instead. Yes, I could have paid her, but it would have required me to go pick up her unemployed butt from my parents' house and let her stay in my house eating my food and drinking my alcohol. This service came in, fed, and walked my dogs. When I moved out of our parents' home, my friends helped me, but not her. She was busy doing schoolwork. She said she'd take a break if I paid her for her time. She was watching TV. When she moved in with her boyfriend, now husband, I helped her out. She never even bought pizza and a beer. She's an amateur photographer, but pretty great, to be honest. When I got married, it was a small thing in my parents' backyard. To save money, I did everything with friends and family. My aunt lent me her wedding dress, and one of my friends made the cake. Everyone pitched in to decorate and set up and clean up. I asked if she could take the wedding pictures. She said only if I paid. So I got a bunch of disposable cameras, used those for candid shots, and paid a photographer for the ceremony and formals only. I now make enough money that I can afford to make my life easier by just paying for whatever I need. And this is what I do for most stuff now. I still do favors for friends and they often return them. My sister ended up with a nice guy and they're getting married soon. She called me last week and asked if I could watch her kids so they could go on vacation. Her husband's parents got sick and ours moved to Florida. So I said I would if she paid me. She can afford it. But now it's all about how family helps each other out. I reminded her of all the times I asked her for help, and she said I was being petty and vindictive. She tried getting my parents on her side, but they told her that she had set the ground rules for our relationship. Now she's on social media, trying to get her friends to make me feel guilty about not helping family. I probably should have responded, but I did, saying that her friends were also available to help her out for free. But I guess she burned a few bridges there too, and some called her out for always wanting to be paid for a favor. It's become a huge mess. Am I the idiot? Karma moment, not the idiot. What goes around comes around. She didn't want to help you without getting paid, so you're treating her the way she treats you. Your parents are right. She made the mess, so she can clean it up herself. The double standards speak volumes, and her going on social media clearly backfired. You were right in responding. Honestly, I wouldn't trust her at all. Blocking her on social media can help too. So she got plenty of chances to help family, and all of these were responded to with, "Pay me." This is a clear case of you made your bed, and even your parents agree she's wrong. The only thing I would maybe do differently here would be just to tell her and list all the requests for help you have given her and her standard response to those requests. So basically, she trained you in how to respond. How can she be mad about this? She sounds like a selfish witch with a capital B, and everybody knows it. Apparently, you're not the only one who's had this experience with her. She's dug her own grave with you, and a bunch of others, so let her bury herself in it. I can't stand people like her.